The Winters family had always loved animals. Their home was a menagerie of cats, dogs, and even a few exotic fish. When Sarah, their youngest daughter, saw a bright green parrot at the local pet store, she begged her parents to let her bring it home. The parrot, named Oliver, was striking with its emerald feathers and piercing black eyes. Despite its initial silence, the family was charmed. From the moment Oliver entered the house, strange things began to happen. At night, the once quiet bird would start to speak in a gravelly voice, mimicking phrases it had never heard in the Winters' home. "Leave now," it would croak, or "They're watching." The family dismissed it as the bird repeating words it had overheard at the pet store. But then the whispers began. Late at night, Sarah would hear faint voices coming from Oliver's cage. Not the usual bird chatter, but low, insidious murmurs that seemed to creep under her skin. "Free me," the voice would say over and over. One night, unable to sleep, Sarah approached the cage and saw Oliver staring at her, eyes glowing faintly in the moonlight. "Free me," it repeated, in a voice that no bird should possess. Sarah told her parents, but they laughed it off. Her father, Greg, reassured her it was just a parrot being a parrot. However, soon Greg started waking up with deep scratches on his arms, as if he had been clawed by something in his sleep. The family cat refused to go near Oliver, hissing and arching its back whenever it got close. Then Sarah's mother, Emily, began having vivid nightmares. She dreamt of a shadowy figure lurking around the house, always just out of sight. In her dreams, the figure would reach out to her with long, talon-like fingers, whispering the same words she had heard from Oliver. "Free me." One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, the power went out. They sat in darkness, the only light coming from the glow of the moon. Suddenly, they heard Oliver's cage rattle violently. The bird's voice echoed through the house, louder and more sinister than ever before. "Free me!" it shrieked, the words reverberating through the walls. Greg grabbed a flashlight and shone it towards the cage. Oliver was thrashing wildly, eyes glowing brighter than before. Suddenly, the cage door burst open and the bird flew out, circling the room. The air grew cold, and an oppressive presence filled the house. Sarah screamed as the bird landed on her shoulder, its claws digging into her skin. She could feel the malevolence emanating from it, a darkness that seemed to seep into her soul. Greg lunged for the bird, but it was too late. Oliver's voice, now a guttural growl, spoke again. "You should have freed me," it said before launching itself at Greg. The room erupted into chaos as the bird attacked, its claws and beak moving with unnatural speed and precision. In the struggle, Emily knocked over a candle, setting the curtain on fire. Flames quickly spread, and the family was forced to flee the house. Outside, they watched as their home and the sinister presence within burned to the ground. In the days that followed, the Winters family tried to move on, but the memories lingered. They could never forget the terror that had taken hold of their home, nor the unsettling feeling that somewhere, somehow, the evil that had inhabited Oliver was still out there, waiting for another chance to be free.